For our next set of blocks, the blocks that we're going to use in our next row, we are making a disappearing 9 patch, which is also basically a variation of a bento block. And to do those, we're going to use a piece of specialized equipment, which is a rotating cutting mat, to make our cutting of this much easier. So what we're first going to need to cut for this block, but I'm going to lay them out as we go ahead. This is for one block only. Our center will be of our green fabric, which is a 2 3/4 square. Then we're going to add to that our background fabric of 4 squares of 2 3/4, which we are going to lay out as I am doing now to make a crisscross pattern with our green block. And then for our corners, I've cut a multitude of different, let's just pull this in a little bit, there we are. I've cut a multitude of pinks from all the pinks we've used in the quilt so far at 2 3/4, and we're going to use four squares of those. So there's 2, 3, and 4. So this will create our original 9 patch like we all know it. So we're first going to do the rows stitched together, then doing the ironing left, right, left, and then sewing the rows together to create our block. So now our rows have been sewn together, and we started off with a left, middle, right, and the bottom left again, and that creates our 9 patch. Now we're just going to sew the rows together and iron them in any direction we please. Right, so there is our 9 patch block all put together, ready to be sliced and diced. So what we are going to do now is double check by measuring your block. Ours is exactly 7 2/8. So of 7 is 3.5. 2/8 gives me 1. So it's 3 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. That's correct. So first off, this way, 1, 2, 3, and 5/8 that way, and we're going to slice up. Then, without moving anything, we're turning our cutting mat. We're going back in 3 5/8, and slicing up that way. So I'm not sure if it all cut through. Not, it didn't. It helps to have a sharp blade. Right. Let's just cut through this one as well. There we go. So now what we have done is, let's just take this a little bit further away. There we go. So what we have done is to create a full patch basically. And to create the bento look, we're going to bring these two closer together until they meet. And we're going to take the opposite ends on these and turn them 180 degrees. And bring them back in this way. And do the same on this side. and that will create our new block, which is a variation of a bento block. So now it's a full patch. We just join these together, these opposite angles with the pressing, and then the two rows together to create our block. So we've put our two pieces together for the top down there, and our two pieces for the bottom down here. And now it's a question of flipping this and giving it a quarter seam down there. And there we go. Our first disappearing 9 patch complete. Now for our quilt, where we need 14 of them for a generous queen, we are going to make the other 13, and I'll show you how we put them together. Now when we get to the point where we want to put them into rows, we have done our first one like that, and there's our second one. You can just put them together like this, which will create this little crisscross pattern in the center, or you can turn them, and this will create a bigger block of two pinks together, and then you have the two enclosed there. We like this setting more, so this is what we're going to work with, and we're going to continue our 14 blocks, put the row together, and we'll come back for the next row. Have a fantastic day.